Hello there. I thought I would read about Churchill. Well, one thing I like about Churchill, actually, thinking about Churchill, is that he's one of the people who are interesting to look for quotes. So his quotes are quite interesting. He made many good quotes. I should read those, but at the moment I'm just reading a little bit about his life. He made some interesting quotes about democracy and all kinds of things, and they're very funny. I like Churchill's quotes, and I like Woody Allen. I like his quotes as well. I think they're similar, strangely, because one of them is a politician and one of them is a comedian. But quotes are quite interesting sometimes to collect and look at on the internet to see what they could mean. Hi there, Haba, Mohammed, are you there? Can you turn your microphone up, because I can just barely hear you at the moment. I hope it's not me, but I'm having a problem hearing you there.
Can you hear me now?
I can just about hear you. The sound's getting a bit better now. Yeah, I can hear you a bit better now. Are you a regular on Verbling? On Verbling, have you been here many times before?
No, I just joined. Just have an hour.
Is this your first day on Verbling?
Yes.
Wow, that's great. Brilliant. So, which country are you from?
Egypt.
And do you live in Egypt today?
Yes, I live in Egypt, actually in Aden.
Have you been to another country?
Turkey.
You've been to Turkey. I haven't been to Turkey. I'd like to go to Turkey because I like countries with coast. Because my country has 14,000 miles of coast. I think Turkey has even more, because it has a very curvy coastline. I'm not sure how many miles of coastline Turkey has, but Egypt has coast, doesn't it?
Actually, Alex, I live front of us. I can see from
I wish you could turn up your microphone, because I'm struggling hearing you, because we have some background hums and whistling sounds, so it's very difficult to hear you. Just try and check out your sound if you could, to see if you can make it a bit better. Welcome everybody. So Haba, I'd like you to just make sure your sound is good, because you're first in the room. I'd like you to read first as well, but I just have a few problems hearing you.
It's okay, you know?
I can hear your voice, but I can't hear very well. The volume is too low. Let me just sound check other people just to see how they sound. So, Furkan, can you just say hello?
Hello.
Yeah, your sound is really perfect. I mean, there's no problem at all there. Can you hear the background noise at the moment?
Yeah, crazy sounds coming from, I think, Haba. Can you see me right now, because I cannot see anyone?
I can see 4, 5, 6 people at the moment.
My camera, or I think my camera is not working.
I can't see you. No, I can see your.
Yeah, I'll refresh the page.
Okay, and you're off now. So, Haba, can you say hello again, just to check your sound again, see if it's changed? Now I've got some noise from you, I'm afraid. That's a pity, because I would like to have heard you read, but it's going to be a bit of a struggle. We'll try to hear you read, but I think I'm going to be struggling to hear you read here. Have you heard about this man before, Haba? Have you heard about Churchill?
Not really.
Well, he lived quite a long time ago.
Not so long time ago.
Quite a long time ago, yes. I do remember his funeral, though. I was a very, very young boy, and I remember his funeral. I think it's the only thing that I've ever seen in England to be so impressive in terms of such a big state funeral. Well, since then there's been another. There's only been two in my lifetime. So there was another very big state funeral in Britain. Do you know the one? Another one much later, quite recently, well, a decade or so ago.
In Britain?
Yes, and it was...
Beatles?
Well, they didn't all die at once. I know most of them are dead, but they didn't really have such a fantastic funeral.
John Lennon? This has to do with John Lennon, no?
Princess Diana?
Diana, yes, Diana. That funeral was just amazing. The whole of the country seemed to be covered in flowers.
And John Lennon, I think, also, no?
Well, I can't remember. I remember everybody being quite upset and lots of talk about it on TV and lots of things. And there was a funeral, of course, but I don't think it was anywhere near as big as these two. These two were comparable to something like Gandhi that when they died, because it was immense that everybody was on the street and there was such an amazing procession and masses of flowers and all kinds. So I think only these two in my country have I ever seen anything like that. Have you ever had a massive funeral like that in your country?
Yeah.
And who was it?
Oh. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. It was ex-president of Republic of Kosovo, you know. It's Ibrahim Rugova. He died in 2006, and all people from Kosovo, around 2 million people, are out in the street, and many delegations from other states around the world came to bury him.
So he was very popular.
He was very popular, you know. He was a very peaceful man during the conflict in ex-Yugoslavia, former Yugoslavia. If you can remember the conflict.
I do remember that, yes.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yes. So, yeah. Well, that's great. So, and does anybody else have any memories of any big state funerals?
I think in Furkan's country, in Turkey, when the Erdogan is going to die, they'll be full.
He's still living.
Yeah, so, well, Churchill certainly had a big send-off. I remember the river, because when Lady Diana died, Princess Diana, then the River Thames wasn't really involved. But when Churchill died, he was put on a boat.
Which year he died?
Well, it would have been in the 60s sometime. Well, it'll be in this article, we'll find out. So let me just move this to the top of the text here and let's read about him. So I remember that he was going to, in the war, he had some special war rooms in Dover, quite near where I live in Canterbury, and they thought they would be safe from a nuclear attack because the atom bomb was just about available at that time, and they thought it may be used. But luckily they didn't use it, because do you know what kind of stone the ground has around Dover and Calais in France? What kind of stone is there what kind of rocks are there?
Stone Age?
It's a kind of white stone, very soft. Do you know the name of it?
Marble?
Softer. And it's used in old schools to write on the board.
Chalk?
Chalk, yes. So they were some meters under chalk in the war rooms with some stone walls. but they thought they would be safe. But later, they tested atom bombs and nuclear explosions near certain materials, and they found that if any nuclear bomb had been blown off near Dover Castle or let off there, then everybody under 50 meters down would be killed because this chalk is just too soft. So let's see. Haba, are you on the mic with good sound now? No. Haba, can you say hello? Bit of a problem there. We'll have to move along, I think. So, Furkan, can you give us a start with the first paragraph?
Okay. Never given, never given, never, 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 never in nothing, great or small, large or petty, never given except to convictions of honor and good sense. Soldier, statesman, politician, author. Victor in the Battle of Britain, July 9th to 31st, October 1940. Winner of the Nobel Literary Prize.
The Nobel, yes. Now, did you know that he wasn't just a politician? He was, he painted a few pictures and he wrote as well. Have you heard of this? Have you heard of Winston Churchill?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people have heard of him, but maybe they don't know too much about him. I think he's worth studying for quotes as well. Did you know that he made some interesting quotes?
Yeah, about prepositions. Also,
yeah, that's one of them, isn't it? How does that go?
I think a woman says to him, "You cannot end a sentence with prepositions," and he says like, "I'm not sure what a preposition is something that you cannot end the sentence with, or I'm not sure."
I'm trying to remember that one. Yes, but now you mention it, I think it's something which does actually end with a preposition. So he's being funny when he makes the quote because he actually ends with a preposition. I think it's something like, don't quote me on this, but it's something like, ending a sentence with a preposition is something up with we should not put, or something, with which, yes, he ends the sentence with put,
yeah, and
splits a phrasal verb and splits the prepositions and everything. So he's making fun of the rules, I think. And so, yes, and I remember some others, but I can't quote him very well because when you quote people, you should really quote them word for word. So I know that there are some about his views on democracy. One or two that one of them is something along the lines of the greatest argument against democracy is a 5-minute discussion with the average voter.
Oh, I remember that.
And do you have any idea about what he said that for? What his opinion is when he says that?
He's not a big fan of democracy, I think. He don't believe that people, the public, can control the country, maybe.
He doesn't think that people know what they're doing enough to actually be given a vote. But he thinks that it's the best we've got. There's no system that works. So he said democracy is the best of a bad lot. We'll have to put up with it until we find a better system. So, yeah, can you describe any words? Have there been any interesting words? There haven't been so many. Maybe I'll do the first one. There's a word which means that maybe something won't happen at all.
Conviction?
No. So this word means that the event won't never. Yes. never. Yeah. So can you find an interesting word there?
Okay. It's something that after you do something really, really, I don't know how to say that, but they give you as a present or something because you did a great job.
they give you something, but it's not something visible, is it? Something that they just...
It might be.
It might be something visible.
Like an Olympics 3.
Yeah, I think I know the word, but does anybody know the word, or has anybody got a good guess at the word? Ah, no, I've changed my mind. I see another word. You might win it.
Prize.
Yes.
Prize, it must be, yes. Win a prize, yes. So, yeah, Mentor, that's a good site. I think he's very good to look up and read the quotes. There's a good site about his quotes. And just discussing the possible meanings of some quotes is a good exercise sometimes. Right, great. So, Marden, can you read on for us, please? Marden, are you on the mic there? Let me post the link while I'm here, because...
Oh, sorry, I was away. Now I'm here now.
Okay, so could you read the next part, paragraph 2 there?
The second paragraph. Alright. He's most famous as Prime Minister during the Second World War. Born to a mixture of English aristocracy and US parentage, his relationship with the US President Roosevelt was vital. His first speech as Prime Minister and head of the War Cabinet is now famous. I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. It has
Sweat, that will be.
sweat. It has the iconic line.
Yes, I wonder where the expression blood, sweat and tears comes from, because it was a band's name and it's an expression, isn't it? But blood, toil, tears and sweat, it's around another way. So, yeah, could you choose an interesting word there to describe to everybody?
English aristocracy.
Well, choose one. Aristocracy, we normally say. Aristocracy.
Aristocracy, yeah.
Yeah, now, choose a word when we read which you, like in Taboo, that you don't tell anybody about.
Alright.
And then so choose another word if you can find another interesting word.
Alright.
And then don't tell anybody what it is, and then we have to guess it.
Alright. It's just something that you have parents from different countries, different nations, or you can say
Mixture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know too much about his parents, but yeah.
Yeah.
There's another word which is something which means that maybe like a symbol.
Iconic.
Iconic,
Icons,
yes.
yeah.
Iconic.
Iconic.
Okay, so let's move along.
Alright.
And here's a quote, because it's in quote marks there, speech marks there. So this one I remember is quite famous. You know, he had a special way of speaking. He was a good speaker in a sense, because he could use few words, but well-chosen words, and so he spoke quite slowly. And sometimes his style of speaking was imitated by other politicians, but sometimes it doesn't quite work for these other politicians in the same way. But I think I remember that when Obama came in, he almost used it a little. This kind of very slow way of speaking with authority. Actually, I think I've heard it before in America, but not by a president.
Yeah. It's just the best way for politicians, I think, to tell something.
Yes, whose speech started, I have a dream?
Yes.
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther's speech was similar to Shakespeare, really. Not to Shakespeare, to Winston Churchill, because he had this way of delivering very well chosen words. And they used to say about Churchill that his English was quite good because he could actually speak in a way that everybody could understand. So well chosen words. So let's go on. Mentor, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So can you take over the next one?
But do you see? I put the quote in the verbling chat.
Which one should we look at? My most brilliant
Yeah.
achievement was my ability to be able to persuade my wife to marry me. He's quite humorous, I think. Yes. He's
sure.
really worth reading. Actually, I said earlier, his quotes are similar to
Napoleon Bonaparte, maybe sometime. I think. Napoleon.
yeah, and Woody Allen, I think he compares to sometimes, because some comedians make quite serious comments in a kind of humorous way, but Winston Churchill made serious comments in a quite humorous way too.
Yeah. Napoleon Bonaparte also.
What does he do? What do you know any quotes of Bonaparte?
Oh, right now. Yes, the woman he says that they are like castles. They are easy to capture, but very difficult to protect it. You know.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yes, quotes are very good. I think I should have a session sometime where we look through some.
Yeah. Okay. May I start to read?
Yeah, let's read this.
Yeah. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. Maybe we shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing ground. We shall fight in the fields and the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. His state funeral was on 30 January 1965. Was a huge affair. It was also the birth date of his friend President Roosevelt. Roosevelt's children led tributes in the United States.
Right, yes, so quite interesting. Huge affair. I'm looking at that word maybe. That's quite interesting because there's a difference in pronunciation between the word maybe, as in maybe, and this may be. So if you read that up to maybe, what's the difference in the way that you read these words? So if I say, for example, we shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be, it sounds like a different meaning, doesn't it? It sounds like maybe we won't.
If it happened, whatever the cost may be. If it happened, whatever the cost, if it happened.
Yeah, whatever the cost may be. Yes, I think if we say this may be, we have to get quite a clear B instead of maybe. Yes. Okay.
Is it common British or not?
No, these words would be in all English, I think, because maybe is a very common word. What kind of word is maybe as one word?
Maybe.
Maybe is perhaps, isn't it? Something like maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's just, I'm just interested that when you say the word maybe as maybe not, then it has a different sound to these two words separately.
Whatever the cost.
Sometimes we have words like sometime. Some time has passed since we last met, and some time ago, and sometimes. Here, I think, they would sound differently, wouldn't they? They would sound different. So what's your word anyway?
If we say whatever the cost can be, it is correct?
It's different though, isn't it? That if we say whatever the cost can be, then I think it's not the same. It's slightly off. It's not quite right, is it? We shall defend our island. Whatever the cost might be is better than can be, because modals can be mixed up and changed sometimes, but it's a little bit of a skill knowing when to do that, because here if we say whatever the cost can be, then it's really changing the meaning. Whatever the cost may be is, or might be, may or might are very often interchangeable. And can is a very general all-purpose one, but here we can't change it for can, because it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense if we say whatever the cost can be, whatever the cost might be, whatever the cost may be. Yeah, it's right as it is. Okay, so choose a word then. Is there an interesting word there?
Yes.
Not too many words.
Oh, So yes, yes, the heroes never do that.
Heroes never do that.
Surrender.
Bravo. Oh, while even you're sleeping, you guess it.
This speech has to be heard in real life because it was on the radio, and he has a way of speaking, something like, "We shall never surrender."
Yeah.
Like this.
Imagine
We shall defend our island.
imagine the
Yes.
radio in 60s, big radio, and people listened close, you know.
Yes, and the whole family get round the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, out of the box.
Well, where was he talking?
Well, this would have been in maybe 44 or something, way before I was born. But it's so famous because it was recorded by the BBC, so it's still available, and you can probably find it on the internet.
Oh, the
And get
place
the
of,
live recording. I should try to get the live recording of this, and then I should add it into this page, and then I should get the quotes, because the quotes, they're really good.
Yeah.
So the next one is just a few lines. So let's skip over the little lines and give somebody more to read. So, like Alfred and Drake and Elizabeth I, Drake. Does anybody know who Drake is?
Not really.
no.
He's famous for playing bowls when the Spanish Armada came, and bowls is a kind of game that you play with balls and rolling them on a piece of grass. It's very similar to a French game, which has the same name in French, boules, but it's only a little bit similar because in the French game you pick up the ball and you throw it, and it can land, and the grass is not very smooth. It can be even on stones a bit. Does anybody know any of these games? No.
No.
No, because, well, there are some games in England which are not internationally known around the world, but there are quite a few English games which did make it around the whole world. So some of them did and some of them didn't. But one game that's played up, I think, pretty much only in England or maybe in Australia and a few places is bowls. And older people play it. Let's see if I can find a picture of it here. So bowls is a kind of game, and when the Spanish Armada came, they didn't want to panic because he knew the Armada were actually in trouble because they were coming at a bad time for the winds, and they were going into sands and all sorts of things. So he didn't panic. He wanted to continue his game. He wanted to just carry on playing. But let me just see if I can find bowls. Green, England. So you can see this is a typical town in England, and they're playing this game. They roll the balls, and you know, the old guys play it. They roll the balls, and there's one little white ball which they roll up first, and the object of the game is to get more of your balls next to the jack, it's called, than anybody else does. So if you get 3 balls close to the jack, closer than anybody else's, you score 3 points. So Drake was involved in the Armada. Who will be next? So let's see. Winston, Leonard, Spencer, Churchill. So I'd like to ask somebody else to read that paragraph there. So let's move on down the line. We've got Rosella. Are you on the mic?
Hello, everybody.
Hi there. Hi there. Where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
Ah, no, I've got Italian classes all this week. From Sicily. Where are you from?
No, I live in the north of Italy, in a small town called Reggio Emilia.
Ah, I don't know that. Is it far from the sea?
Yes, it's far from the sea, from the Adriatic Sea, you know? Riccione, do you know Riccione? No.
The Adriatic. I know the Mediterranean.
No, no, Adriatic Sea.
Ah, I
Bar.
don't
Are
really
you
know that
close to the
corner.
bar?
Sorry?
Are you close to the bar? Bari.
No, no, no. Bari is in the south of Italy.
Oh.
I am in the north of Italy.
You are close to Milano to Roma.
Next to Milano, next to Milano,
Okay.
to Milano, next to Milano. 150 kilometers from Milano.
Okay.
Have you been to other countries?
Yes, I have been in Sweden when I was a child. I lived in Sweden for 10 years.
Ah. Yeah, I haven't been to Sweden. My mother goes there quite often. She likes to go on cruises, and the cruise company come from Norway, and
Oh.
sometimes they like to go that way. Fred Olsen is his name. He has a website, and people can go on cruises, and it's very popular with older people as well because they like to go and see a lot of things without too much exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So could you read this paragraph for me, please?
Okay, I try. We'll try. It's the first time for me in Verbling. Oh, sorry, I changed. Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill was born on 30 November 1874 at Blenheim Palace in Oxfordshire. His father was the prominent Tory politician, Lord Randolph Churchill. Churchill attended the Royal Military College, Sandhurst. It's correct.
Sandhurst, yeah. And you know when you say these counties, the old word for county is shire, but
Shire.
but that's a word like a county. So we might say the shires or something like this. But when it comes at the end, we don't stress it as shire. So we just say shire. So Oxfordshire.
Oxfordshire. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Before embarking on an army career, he saw action on the northwest frontier of India and in the Sudan. While working as a journalist during the Boer War, he was captured and made a prisoner of war before escaping.
Wow, so his life is quite full of events, isn't it? Very eventful life.
Yes.
So I didn't know all of this, or I'd forgotten it. So now let's choose. Could you choose an interesting word there and just describe it for us all to guess?
Oh, I try. Prominent. His father was the prominent. Is prominent? Is it correct?
Yes, but what I'd like you to do is choose a word and then don't tell us which word you choose, and then when you describe it, we will try to guess by your description.
Sorry, I didn't understand. Sorry. I have
So,
to
is there another one that's interesting? I don't know. Maybe there isn't now because that was a good one. Well, maybe there is.
Now I have to change the word.
You have to change it because now we know that one.
Yeah. Just a moment. I will.
I see a couple of other interesting ones to do, so I think you can change.
Okay, I try to explain. I have to explain. Is it correct?
Yes, try to explain the word and then
The
we
word
guess it.
I have to. Okay. When you try to take something and
Embark.
no, and take this. Oh, it's noisy. It's noisy.
I think that's maybe Harbour trying to get back on the mic.
Oh, it's difficult. I can't explain the word. Oh, I don't know. I have a word, but I can't explain.
Okay, tell me, Rosella, just me.
No, it's not correct. When you take something and take it, and you want to take it only to yourself.
Capture?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there were some other interesting words there, and
another one.
embarking is quite an interesting word too. Okay, let's go on then. That's good, thanks. So now we're at the turn of the century. We're turning into the next century here. So let's move the screen down a bit.
Okay.
There we are. So next along the line, we've got
Ursula.
Ursula.
Yes, I am here.
Oh, we don't see you.
Maybe next time. I can't deal with all the photo. I try to put it, but I didn't manage to do it.
Yeah. So so here we go with in 1900.
In 1900, Churchill became a Conservative Member of Parliament for Oldham. But he became...
Yeah, normally with names of cities, they're not stressed at the end where there's a common kind of ending, like Ham, Ford, Itch. They're often, so it would be Oldham, something like that. Like, yes, because towns and city names are even more like this than ordinary words. So we've got Bradford instead of Bradford, and we've got Bourne. Try and say this one. How do you think we say this here in the Verbling chat?
Bournemouth.
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 Mouths are usually muths. And hams are often ums, like Oldham. And Fords are usually foods, like Bradford. And another mouth is Plymouth. So when we say names with ham at the end, generally we don't say ham. Sometimes in America they do, because, for example, Birmingham in England is sometimes, in Alabama I've heard Birmingham, like a ham at the end, but generally those endings get a bit crunched, a bit dropped, a bit unstressed, so people say Oldham. Okay, let's read on. But he
became disaffected with his party, and in 1904 joined
we don't say 1904.
1904.
Yeah, we can say it that way, or 1904, but that's a tricky one when there's an O.
1904 joined the Liberal Party. When the Liberals won in 1905 election.
Yeah, you can say 1905 as well. Both ways are good.
1905 election, Churchill was appointed Under Secretary at the Colonial Office. In 1908, he entered the cabinet as President of the Board of Trade, becoming Home Secretary in 1910. The following year, he became First Lord of the Admiralty. Do
you know what that is, by the way? Do you know what the Admiralty is? What is it related to?
To the Navy.
Yes, yeah, that's right. The Admiral, yes, that's right. Okay.
He held this post in the first months of World War I, but after the disastrous Dardanelles expedition, for which he was blamed, he resigned. He joined the army, serving for a time on the Western Front. In 1917, he was back in government as Minister of Munitions. From 1919 to 1921, he was Secretary of State for War and Air, and from 1924 to 1929 was Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Chancellor of the Exchequer. Now, can you see what I've posted there in the Verbling chat? Just 4 words. Can you read those 4 words?
Which?
Can you see the Verbling chat?
Yes. Oh, no.
At the bottom,
no,
I can see my words. I can see Bournemouth, and then can you see where I've written Bradford and Bournemouth?
No, I don't know why, but I can see.
Okay.
See it.
Well, I'll highlight the words on the screen there. So one word is, where are you? Here, this word.
Post.
And this word.
Front.
Well, I wrote in the chat posted to the front. So posted is like an O sound, like a mobile phone, O. And, you know, a lot of times I hear people making it a bit too R. So it's more posted, yeah. Posted. Posted. Post, yeah. That sounds better. And this word doesn't have an R, but it has an sound, front.
Front.
Yes,
Western
so
front.
posted to the western front.
Front.
Yes. Okay, so your word, choose a nice interesting one to describe without telling anybody.
Yes, it's usually a group of people that make some kind of executive.
Army?
Like a committee or something like that.
Like
Parliament?
Army?
No.
Colony?
Board?
No. Board, yes.
A board, yes. The president of the Board of Trade, yes. That's good. There are some interesting words in this chapter, this paragraph. So let's have a look and see if there are any other. Yeah, there are one or two interesting words. Maybe. What word means that somebody decides to just quit their job?
Resign.
Yes, resigned. And this word is quite interesting because I know more commonly people use the word ammunition, but munitions, a munitions dump. And I'm not sure exactly how to just tell people about the difference between munition and ammunition. Ammunition may be a subset of munition. What is the difference? Does anybody know? Munition, does that encompass more than ammunition? Maybe ammunition is just
ammo,
shells and things like this, like ammo, yes. But munition might be guns and as well.
Yeah. I think today's Minister of Army, maybe Chief of Defense.
Today's Secretary of Defense, maybe.
Secretary of Defense, yes.
It's like arsenal.
Yeah, munition is a bit more extensive than just ammunition. Ammo is just bullets and shells and things like this and explosives, but munitions is more, I think. But I haven't looked it up in the dictionary, but that's the way I feel about it at the moment, so check that. So let's go on anyway. Let's see who's next down the line. So we've got... Hello, Med at the end, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Hi, can you see the text?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
We've got a bit of echo, but we'll see how it goes. So it looks like we've got a bit of echo here. Can you try and read the paragraph there?
Okay, no problem. The next decade were his wilderness years. You hear me?
I can hear you. Just the sound isn't great. But we've got some echo from others. I'll have to mute them while you're reading. Okay, so let's try again.
Okay. The next decade were his wilderness years, in which his opposition to Indian self-rule and his support for Edward VIII. Edward VIII,
we say. When you read about kings, always put the before the number. So Edward VIII. You never see it, but you just read it back that way. Edward VIII.
For Edward VIII, during the abdication crisis, made him unpopular, while his warning about the rise of Nazi Germany and the need for British rearmament were ignored. When war broke out in 1939, Churchill became First Lord of the Admiralty In May
Admiralty.
19,
Just when this word, just say Admiralty.
Admiralty.
Admiralty. Yes. You don't need to say much in the middle. Just say Admiralty.
Admiralty.
Okay.
In May 1940, Neville Chamberlain resigned as Prime Minister and Churchill took his place. His refusal to surrender to Nazi Germany inspired the country. He worked tirelessly throughout the war, building.
Let's go for this sentence. He worked. So in this word "worked," you don't say "ed" at the end. Just he worked tirelessly throughout the war. War sounds like horse. So he worked tirelessly throughout the war.
He worked tirelessly throughout the war. Throughout the war, building a strong relation with us, President. U.S.
That's supposed to be U.S., but I've made a mistake there with the U. So it's with U.S. President Roosevelt.
With U.S. President Roosevelt, while maintaining a sometimes difficult alliance with the Soviet Union.
Alliance. Okay, so could you choose a word for us there? Choose one of the words to describe for us, and we try to guess it.
Okay,
find one interesting word and then just speak about it, and we try to guess it for you.
Okay, I will try. When someone someone what does I mean? Go out the
Self-rule?
now. I don't think that. Once someone complete his mission and work.
Resign.
Yeah, resigned. Okay.
Yeah, it's like quitting, isn't it? If you resign, you just say, "I'm leaving. I quit."
Can I ask a grammar question?
Yeah.
Is it correct to say a sometimes difficult alliance?
Is it correct in the text? You mean where are we looking?
While maintaining a sometimes difficult.
Last one.
While maintaining a sometimes difficult alliance with the.
Sometimes.
What sounds strange about it? What do you think sounds strange? The
Yeah.
While maintaining, sometimes without it doesn't actually work. But maybe it could be reordered. But while maintaining a sometimes difficult alliance, there has to be if I take away the word sometimes, then I have to say while maintaining a difficult alliance with the Soviet Union. And if I put sometimes difficult, while maintaining a sometimes difficult alliance, I don't see a problem with it. And how else could you say this sentence, do you think?
Maybe while sometimes maintaining difficult alliance.
Yeah, but if you move the word sometimes, then he's sometimes maintaining a difficult alliance, then it seems as though the alliance is always difficult, and sometimes he's maintaining it and sometimes he's not. But if you put it where it is, then he's maintaining all the time an alliance which is sometimes difficult. So it does change the meaning if we move the word sometimes. But it is a strange sentence, I think, yes.
Mm-hmm.
While maintaining a sometimes difficult alliance with the Soviet Union. Yeah, a little bit, how do you say, convoluted maybe, but it seems quite naturally enough to me, but I can understand that it looks a little bit strange. But it's correct, it's fine.
Okay.
But you know, we do have lots of mistakes on Wikipedia and other places like that where we get these texts from. I've seen mistakes all over the place because they slip in here and there, typos. Like I've got my US one, that came because of some kind of global replace accident. All of the way through, all of my text, I've got US as a little lowercase u, which is a bit of a problem. I had to look for some kind of maybe you know something like a spell checker that you can run through a website. But they're tricky sometimes, these things. Sometimes it's best to just get things right, I think. Okay, so let's move on now.
Teacher, the verb link class. Teacher.
Yeah?
The verb link chat doesn't work.
Well, for me, it sometimes works, and right now it works. I just said hi.
Maybe it's better to use Google Chat.
Yeah, but the reason we like to try and use the verb link chat is because we're trying to develop the verb link chat, first of all. That's reason number one. We're trying to develop it so that we can do the things we need, like send private messages. I hope that comes soon. And another reason we like to use the verb link chat is because it's visible on the web pages in VerbLink to people who are following us.
You are right, you are right.
And they can't actually see the other chat.
Yes,
so it helps people who are thinking about coming in and perhaps watching from the outside. So that's why I'm always using it. But yeah, with two chats it's a little bit problematic sometimes. We don't know why we've got two chats, but maybe in the future on VerbLink we will actually use the API to actually take away the Google chat. But at the moment we've got two, and the reason we use the VerbLink is for that reason, because we want to share it with people and keep it on record as well. Yeah, so I keep using it. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does work, and right now it seems okay.
Now it doesn't work.
Well, it works for me at the moment, but yeah, we've had a few issues with it. I know this. So let's just finish off today with the last one there. So, Haber, are you on the mic at all? Can you just can you say hello? Because I'm sorry that you haven't been able to read. Okay, really, you're very, very faint. But just try your best to read that last paragraph, please.
Sure. Can you hear me now?
I can kind of hear you, but I'm trying my best to hear you.
Churchill lost power in the
Can you read from Churchill lost power in the 1945 post-war election?
Yeah, I read it right now. Election, but remained leader of the opposition.
Yeah, I'm missing words. Sorry, I'm missing words and everything there. It's really too difficult. So we'll have to try and give you a sound test another time and see if we can get you sorted, because it's really a big problem. I can't catch everything there. So we'll have to move over there to Jao. Are you there, Junior?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. So could you finish us off with the last paragraph then?
Okay, let me see. She was in the voice and apprehension. I'm right. Can I start again?
Yes, start from Churchill lost power.
Okay, Churchill lost power in the 1945 post-war election, but remained leader of the opposition, voicing apprehension about.
Now we've lost you as well. Well, we seem to be suffering here a bit. We're all getting a few problems. So I'm just looking through that last paragraph there. Churchill lost power in the 1945 post-war election, but remained leader of the opposition, voicing apprehensions about the Cold War. That's an interesting expression I haven't heard before, voicing apprehensions. That's a strange one. I haven't heard it like that before. I've heard people often say being apprehensive about something, but voicing apprehensions is a bit unusual, to say the least. About the Cold War. He popularized the term Iron Curtain and encouraging European and transatlantic unity. In 1951, he became Prime Minister again. He resigned in 1955, but remained an MP until shortly before his death. As well as his many political achievements, he left a legacy of an impressive number of publications, and in 1953 won the Nobel Prize for Literature. So that's quite some achievement to win a Nobel Prize for Literature. I wonder how deserved he was to win that, but maybe he... I can't hear what you're saying yet, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't hear anybody now, so I think it's time to wrap up in a moment. So who can say a few words? Can anybody? Furkan, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. But
yeah, I can always keep connection with yours. Your sound is good. I think you must have a very good connection. I don't know, but usually when everybody starts dropping out, you're still there.
Yeah, interesting.
But maybe I get some kind of preference because I started the Hangout. I think the person who starts it gets maybe a double share of bandwidth. I don't know, but something happens there to help the person who started.
I adjust my bandwidth or other things to maintain the stability of Hangouts.
How do you do that? That's clever.
For example, using Google DNS and accessing the modem's interface. Also, there are some settings in Google Hangouts like adjust bandwidth usage. So, also I closed my webcam, so
yeah, that's something I should do, but it hasn't got that bad yet. Do you think that when it gets generally bad, it helps if I close my camera?
Yeah, it absolutely helps a lot.
Okay, I should turn mine off then. Sometimes I turn it off. My camera's still on, but presumably it's not. It's only local. I don't know.
Yeah, because it uploads your screen to other people, and it soaks up the internet.
But if I turn my camera off, and it seems to be still on, is my camera on or off?
Off. For example, you can try right now.
I've turned it off, and if I stop screen sharing, yes, it's off, but it looks like my camera's on when I look at the top of my actual camera. The light's on.
Yeah, light's on, but we can see you.
Yeah, I'll do that then. Next time there's a problem in the room, I'll just switch my camera off as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well that's it then. So we're cracking up too much now, and it's near the end now. So I'll see you tomorrow.
See you. Bye.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
See you all.
Bye.